it's hard to find something where you're like, I hate this game. Like,
right.
If you hate this game, I feel like you a hater, like straight up. Like, dude, I don't see how you cannot see how amazing this game is.
What's going on, guys? We are back here today, and my goodness, Street Fighter 6 is literally here, and we have Justin Wong here.
What's good? How are you doing? You know, I'm glad to be here. And obviously, always talking about Street Fighter 6 is always a fun thing, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous at all these review copies out there, all these YouTube reviews.
6, I feel like it's coming out strong. You know what I mean?
Coming out very strong.
Very strong. Like I feel
like top tier, like SSS gotcha type of pull
type of thing. You know, like it is mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like we don't buy games that is a full package anymore. We're kind of okay with like buying games that is you know, like that is a decent package and things like that. So I really like that Capcom is setting that bar high again. I'm really looking forward to what they bring outside of the launch. You know, like we don't even know what they have for next year.
Yeah, we have like the DLC characters being announced. You know, like Rashid and Aki and Akuma. But those are like long periods, like, you know, like Akuma. We're not gonna see Akuma until 2024. He looks really cool. He just looks like Shin Akuma just from like the artwork alone.
I wanted to ask you, when you heard about Street Fighter 6 and they talked about like the overdrive mechanic and things like that, like when you heard it before you played it, but just reading it and seeing how it worked, were you a bit concerned how like the game was going to be played?
No, I never am concerned about like Capcom games, because like the one thing Capcom likes to do when it comes to making a new Street Fighter or a new game in general, they want to really try to throw out legacy skill. So it's kind of just been there since like the beginning of time. If you look at Street Fighter 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and now 6, there's never really been like kind of like a legacy skill will carry over to kind of carry you to the next thing. It's like pretty much learning a brand new game at a clean slate. So for me, because I've been playing Capcom games for like ever and knowing that's like what they like to do, to me, I'm just like, yeah, it's going to just be a brand new game, clean slate. Because when you play Street Fighter 2, it's really about just spamming special moves like Fireball, Shoryukens, stuff like that, right? Then you play Street Fighter 3, it's like, okay, it's more aggressive with parries and everything. And then Street Fighter 4 has like a whole FADC system. And Street Fighter 5 is a V-trigger system. And obviously, look, now we're here at Street Fighter 6 with a drive mechanic system. So it's always been like that in Capcom games compared to like Tekken and King of Fighters, where like legacy skill super carries over. The one thing is that there are players from like previous Capcom games that will always like hate on a game. Like Street Fighter 2 players hate Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 3 players hate Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 players hate Street Fighter 5. I'm not sure if Street Fighter 5 players will hate Street Fighter 6.
I actually haven't heard it.
Street Fighter 6 looks so amazing.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see after the first month. Like people will be like, yo, I'm about to install Street Fighter 5 or something on Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, dude, I think that'd be crazy just because of like, you know, it'd be crazy that 6 actually broke the curse. You know what I mean? I'd be like,
it'll
wow.
be godlike. It'll be godlike, because I mean, there's one thing that people hate: spending so much time learning and mastering a game and then having to just throw that out the window and starting over. That's why like other games, you have a lot of like old school players always continuing playing the newer versions of the game because they're already good. Like if a new King of Fighters 16 comes out, the same players that were good in King of Fighters 15, 14, 13, and so forth, they're already good. Mm-hmm. You know, same thing for like Tekken 8. Like you already know that Arslan, Ash, Knee, they're already top 8 at the first tournament, making winners finals at the first tournament because they already have that legacy skill, right? But for Street Fighter, you have all these players that were like top players from like 4 or 5 or whatever, and when they play the new game, bro, they might not make top 8 the first time around because it's different. You know what I mean? Like it's really, really different. Like the first Street Fighter 5 major, Sonic Fox made top 8 in the final round, right?
Brent is cool, Sonic Fox. For me, when I first heard about it, you know, I was always a bit concerned because, you know, coming from like Guilty Gear Strive, for example, like when they brought their game out, like, you know, I was okay with the changes and things like that, and I'm always okay with changes. I just think like you know, the way that they wanted to try to attract new players was always something that always felt very like a chore when you keep playing a game for a long time, periods of time.
Yeah.
And you know, just because of the damage. But what I like is that Arcs is doing now, they're finally toning down the damage a little bit, and they're trying to find little ways to tone it down while also kind of like keep it, you know, a little bit high, because, you know, Guilty Gear is a high damage game as a whole. Like, but I do like that Capcom is like, you know, damage is not crazy, but like if you get a counter hit, or you get like a punish counter, or you spend like level 3, then you know you get rewarded for like those stray hits, and and I kind of like that, you know what I mean? And one of the things I really was scared about was the overdrive system. I was like, oh, that's like your EX. I was thinking like, yo, that's your EX, that's your super, that's your this. But then when I play it, I was like, oh, it makes sense. You know, parry. I was a bit concerned about parry too, but
people don't like parries. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't like parry. You know, but I am okay with parry now. You know, like I feel like it's okay right now. Definitely later on, it could probably be the best mechanic ever, but we don't know. But I like the aesthetic of it, you know, like the slowdown and like the characters talking shit. Like, you know, when Ryu parry, he's like simple, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's cool.
They add a lot of charm. There's a lot of charm for sure in that. I'm just more scared of kind of like, hopefully they keep the servers great enough to keep playing online, because I feel like Guilty Gear Strive like had the same thing where at the gate, like, it was amazing, the online was so good, and eventually it just kind of like started doing like bad, right? You got the hacker man, right? Yeah, it just deteriorated. So I'm just hoping that Street Fighter 6 doesn't fall in that same category where like there's like a Street Fighter 6 hacker man, or like the online just started getting like becoming worse, right? So I'm just hoping that does not happen for 6.
So another question I have is, man, how did you feel about companies like giving this game like a 9, like out of 10? Like, did you really expect for them to just like be like, yo, this game is like a masterpiece? Like, did you really expect that and like give it like super high rating? Because I feel like fighting games, like outside of some games, I feel like it don't get like super high like that, right? It seems like Capcom is probably the only one that kind of, fighting game wise, kind of get like those super high reviews.
Nah, not even that. Like, the reason why I'm so surprised about that score is because like Monster Hunter is such an amazing title from Capcom. Like, Monster Hunter is always high ranking, high reviews.
Yes.
The fact that Street Fighter 6 score is higher than Monster Hunter
is crazy.
I think that's the insane part to me. So it just means that like, man, like this must be like a master game. I think it's because all these reviewers are like, obviously like they're more old school, they're fans, they know the Capcom universe, the fan base, the story, the lore, and when you play it, it's like there's so much lore. Like, and the crazy part is Street Fighter 5 is the first time they ever had a story mode, like a legit story mode. Street Fighter 6 World Tour, it seems like everyone loves it. The fact that it's like an open world RPG, kind of like semi-world open RPG, kind of like Yakuza, and it follows like a Yakuza style type of game where you could just fight people on the street, level up your skills, learn more moves from like masters, and do these type of quests. Like, there's so much like effort in there, right? And I can see the game being like a 40+ hour game, just World Tour alone, right? Because there's so, like, just playing chapter 1 and chapter 2, you just appreciate the stuff that you can see in World Tour mode, because there's so much references. And if you're a person that plays Street Fighter since the beginning of time, you want to see all these type of references. Like, when you're in Times Square, you see all like these characters doing like kind of like different type of like advertisements, like Manon show like doing perfume, Abigail has his own tire shop, like a lot of stuff, right? And then there's like a section where it's really cool, like you get to see like specific like stages. You can be like, oh, I think this stage is from like this game, like Street Fighter 3 or Second Impact. Like, that's like I recognize the stage, and I'm like, bro, they brought the stage back. So I'm hoping I get to see a lot more references like that when playing more of the World Tour modes, like chapter 3 and so forth and so forth. Literally, we have 2 games for the price of 1. That's how I look at it. So that's why I think like the score is so high, because there's so much stuff to do instead of just playing online and everything. If you are a person that are scared of playing online because you're like, oh, I don't want to lose 50 times in a row, if you're not a pro Street Fighter player or competent in Street Fighter games, bro, you could just play offline like the whole entire time and still have a blast, right? So it's hard to find something where you're like, I hate this game. Like,
Right.
if you hate this game, I feel like you a hater, like straight up. Like, dude, I don't see how you cannot see how amazing this game is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really hard to find a way to be like, this game sucks. Like, it's really hard. Like, if you don't like the online, bro, don't play online. Play World Tour mode. You know, just do a bunch of other cool stuff.
I always ask myself, like, when a company makes a great product like this, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, how can you top this? You know what I mean? And like, to top this is like, wow, what else that can be possibly add on to like the next generation? Because, you know, I'm assuming with all the stuff that they put and all the people praising this game hard, it's not going to be the last chapter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's going to be more. So I'm always curious, like, what's the next thing that they're going to do? So
obviously, you have to have World Tour mode moving forward.
Yes,
right.
That's
you cannot. Yeah, it's a staple now. Like, you cannot not have World Tour mode or like all these other type of like single player content. Like you cannot take them out. Like, they have to stay for the rest of time.
Yes,
it's impossible.
And I feel like other fighting games are going to have a World Tour mode too. You know?
I mean, Mortal Kombat already kind of does that.
Yeah,
so that's like
Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken already has a kind of like story mode.
Melty Blood, you know, all those games are gonna have a World Tour mode. You gotta create your avatar in the Melty Blood universe, go around, you know, and go fight Roa. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Mortal Kombat is probably like the only one with a story mode that can rival Street Fighter 6. And Mortal Kombat 1 is gonna come out like months anyway, so we get to see that.
I'm surprised about that. It was crazy. Now I'm sure everybody's gonna want to know, who are you maining?
Who am I maining?
Yeah. You know, I know you like the lame stuff. Like, are you bringing back OD lame Justin, or are we gonna have casual Justin? Which one are we bringing this year?
I feel like there's not much lame characters in the game. Like, you have Guile, he's probably like the best lame character in Dalsum, but it's just like, even then, like, Guile doesn't even seem like completely lame. He has like these crazy combos and everything like that. And then Dalsum, I mean, if you look at him at Street Fighter 5, he became one of the best rushdown characters in the game.
Yoga
so,
Gale.
Like, right? So it's like, yeah, Yoga Ham, right?
Yeah,
so
Yoga
it's
Ham,
just,
bro.
yeah, it's hard to kind of tell from those situations if there are like going to be defensive characters, because I think the defensive playstyle has like been deteriorating. Like, there's less characters that are adopting that playstyle, because I think developers know that casual players don't want to see that, like, straight up. Guile, Dalsum, those characters, they are like casual killers. So they are the characters that will make you uninstall the game if you are a casual player.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to remove stuff like that, and like, if you look at Street Fighter 6, it seems like command grabs are the wave. Very popular, right? Super popular. Very exciting, big damage and everything. So you know, it might be the command grab era for season 1. The one thing is, like, when people ask like who you want to main, that's the hardest question for Street Fighter 6. And the reason why I say that is because when I ask this to other people, everyone names 2 to 3 characters. Like, you don't name one character like, oh, I'm gonna main this character, right? Before the game launches, you're like, oh, I think I'm interested in these 2-3 characters and blah blah blah. 3 characters I definitely want to play, just from looking at all the footage and everything, is Cammy, JP, and Manon. Right, those 3 are like the top 3 on my list that I'm like really interested in playing.
I definitely feel like the open beta characters plays a completely different game to like some of the new characters that we've been seeing, like from clip to clip, or you know, like people's thoughts and impressions on, like, you know, some of the characters. Like, it really feel like a lot of other characters that we don't have in open beta like literally plays it just looks like they just play a whole like different game. Like Blanca with the Blanca Chans, you know what I mean? Like Zangief with like half screen SPD range, and you know, like crazy stuff like that. Like, you know, you look at for example like Jamie's command grab, and then you look at like the grappler's command throw. They're like night and day. You know what I mean? Like,
it is night and day.
Yeah, it's night and day.
Yeah, but we didn't really have a grappler in the open beta. Like, there was no grappler. Jamie was the only one that had a command grab. Even then, he's like He's not a grappler. It's like you're saying like Yun and Yang is a grappler. He just has a command grab. Right?
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, definitely the characters like Manon, Lily, the characters that really have command grabs like Manon, Lily, and Zangief. Yeah, I mean they definitely look amazing. They look very strong with how much damage their command grab does.
For my characters, I'm looking at DJ. DJ actually looks super cool. Like from what I've seen, he doesn't even look like a charge character. Like I just like it, you forget that he's not a charge. He's a charge character because of all like this moves, the sways and stuff like that, and him like dashing in. Like he seems like again like a charge character that is always moving forward. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy.
He's definitely a hybrid now.
Yeah,
for sure. He's kind of like Chun-Li hybrid.
Yeah, and that's really cool. So that's a character I'm looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to seeing like how Marissa plays. Like, I don't know if I'm definitely gonna main her, but I just want to see like how she plays because I actually think she looks super cool aesthetically. I like the move that like she charges. You know what I mean? Like,
the charge punches.
Yeah, the charge punches and things like that. I want to see how that works out in the mid range. I'm just super excited to also give out. This is actually like surprising, but I actually think Blanca actually looks pretty cool in this game. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
You don't,
low key.
I don't like how Blanca looks personally. Straight up.
I don't like his outfit, but like gameplay.
You ever watched the Powerpuff Girls?
I know exactly who you talking about.
Bro, he looked like Fuzzy Lumpkins, bro. Fuzzy Lumpkins.
Yeah, bro.
With the overalls.
Yeah, with the.
Bro, I'm not playing a character with some overalls.
Come on, bro. Mr. Lumpkins, dog. Come on. That's a good tag. That's a good tag. Anybody who got that tag, take that, bro. But yeah, anyways, that's all we got. Man, thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, would you like to throw your socials in and what they can follow you and where they can find you?
They could just type my name, Justin Wong, on YouTube. You'll see my channel, and JWong3Gs on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that type of stuff. Yeah, pretty. I think I'm pretty easy to find.
Well, with that being said, man, thank you guys. I hope you guys are excited for Street Fighter 6 like we are. It is a couple of days away, or it is out now. So thank you guys so much, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next Fighting Game Select.